Palworld has taken the internet by storm, and it's been a lot of fun to play recently. Catching pals and making them slave away for my benefit. I'm sure PETA is getting a kick out of this one. But flying around on my not Staraptor made me wonder, is this what Pokemon would be like if Team Rocket won? Enslaving and experimenting on Pokemon and making them work for our own benefit? What would it be like? Would we be shooting Pokemon? Are there any good guys here? If so, who are they? In this video, we're gonna take a deep dive into the world of Pokemon to answer this question. If Team Rocket won, could the Pokemon franchise we know and love of games, plushies, and TV shows have turned into something a little more dark, like what we see in Palworld? This is of course assuming Ash's Pikachu didn't always send Team Rocket. Let's start with a brief introduction to who Team Rocket was, why their organization was created, and what their goal was. And while we're doing that, we'll see if any of their actions or goals line up with anything that we see in Palworld, including any appearances of guns in the Pokemon series, along with some of the more interesting diary entries that took me somewhat by surprise, but more on that later. So, who was Team Rocket? What was their significance, and how can we piece that together into Palworld? Well, as we know, Team Rocket is the most prominent of all the villainous organizations and antagonists that we see in the world of Pokemon. First introduced at the very beginning of where it all started, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Be it in the games or TV series, we see Team Rocket appear time and time again throughout the seasons, along with a slight rebrand in Ultra Sun and Moon when they went by Team Rainbow Rocket for some odd reason. Aside from that, the team's leader for the most part, as you might already know, was Giovanni, but he wasn't the one that started the organization in the first place. His mom was, Madame Boss. Giovanni only inherited the organization from his Pokemon-hating mother, as she despised Pokemon and only saw them as an income source to benefit from. The oath that Team Rocket lives by sums it up nicely. Steal Pokemon for profit, exploit Pokemon for profit, all Pokemon exist for the glory of Team Rocket. And actually, while I was researching for this video, I came across a bit of drama that I just had to share with you guys. Did you know there was a Pokemon musical from the early 2000s called Pokemon Live? No? Well, that's a shame. It was a 6-year-old's dream. In the musical, Ash's mom tells him that she used to date Team Rocket's boss, Giovanni, and she used to be in Team Rocket as she was dating him. What? How can we relate any of this to Palworld? Of course there are the gun references in Pokemon, but to dive in a little further, that's where the diary entries come in. The diary entries are probably the most overlooked parts about this game, but they're actually the single most valuable resource in uncovering this game's lore. They tell us the stories of several characters, each with their own views of what pals are for and how they should be treated. The Castaway, Zoe Rain, Lily Everhart, Marcus Dryden, Victor Ashford, and Axel Travers. For the Castaway, nothing important is ever really revealed in his journal entries. All that we end up finding out is that the Castaway did end up on this island and explored just like we did. The next 5 characters, Zoe, Lily, Marcus, Victor, and Axel, are each leaders or guardians of those really tall towers that are scattered around the island. But not to get too lost in the details, we're just gonna focus on 3 characters, Lily, Marcus, and Victor, because these 3 characters most closely resemble similar traits that we find in Team Rocket. Let me explain. Victor was a scientist that experimented on pals using their DNA to try and create the ultimate pal. Marcus was head of a corrupt police force that, get this, sold white powder to people and then arrested them for possession. It gets even crazier. He then confiscates the white powder and resells it back to other people. The insanity of this game. Lily ends up devoting her life to pals. This after she got rid of some poachers by piercing their hearts and being healed of her injuries by one of the pals. She wanted to protect the pals from evil and harm. Lily became the head of the Free Pal Alliance, an organization that works to protect pals while also living by these 5 oaths. Thou must not eat pals, thou must not overwork pals, thou must not abuse pals, thou must not use pals for experiments, and thou must risk thy life to protect pals. The flesh and blood of humans exist only for the glory of pals, which is a bit extreme for my taste, but looking back at the 5 oaths, I'd say none of us are playing this game to join the FPA. Victor and Marcus both sought power of sorts by using and exploiting pals, while Lily wanted the extreme opposite, emphasis on the extreme. Marcus represents the inhumane aspect of Palworld, scientists that want to create their own life form using the DNA of other pals. This is exactly what we see in Pokemon when Team Rocket hires Dr. Fuji, the scientist that eventually creates one of the most powerful Pokemon in the series, Mewtwo. And Victor represents the corrupt power that guards the land, keeping things in check, but not before first keeping his pockets full. Aligning again with Team Rocket's oath, steal Pokemon for profit, exploit Pokemon for profit. Lily represents a naive, flawed hero type, wanting to be the good guy but ultimately being too extreme, with her belief that humans only exist for the glory of pals. Like what we see in Team Rocket's oath, all Pokemon exist for the glory of Team Rocket. There's a lot of similarities amongst these 3 leader types in the game, which might suggest that there are more people in this world just like them. The ones who seek power, the ones who seek money, and the ones who seek, well, actually, I don't even know what to call it is that Lily wants. She just sees pals as superior to humans. Of course, these 3 characters are all on the extreme ends of their ideologies, but so was Team Rocket. So I'll ask again, if Team Rocket won, would their world be more like what we see in Palworld? Well, if Pokemon were real, A, that would be amazing and would probably fulfill every kid's dream, including mine, and I'm not even a kid. And B, the world would probably align more with Palworld in the sense of using Pokemon or pals for the benefit of our own selves. Obviously, Pokemon is a game designed to be more PG, so of course the game isn't gonna resonate with how the real world actually is, and that's okay. Preserving the innocence of children is actually a good thing. But with good comes bad, and with bad comes good. There's always gonna be one fighting against the other for whatever reason. And I believe that even if the bad guys won, good will always come back on top. So let me ask you a question. If Pokemon were real, would you battle with them, or would you live peacefully with them? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please leave a like. I promise I won't get mad about it. Do it. Share this video, like this video, subscribe. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys later.